Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rotary Swing instructor Christopher Tyler, and in this week we are going to be answering the question, is it in the family? Miss Cheyenne Woods captures her first victory, and we are going to be doing a breakdown in her golf swing and comparing it to her Uncle Tiger. Alright, Miss Cheyenne Woods, 23 years old, niece of Tiger Woods, claims her first victory at the Australian Ladies Masters Championship this past weekend. So congratulations to Cheyenne Woods. And this week's analysis, I'm actually going to be doing a little family comparison between her and Tiger and show you some of the great things that they do in their golf swing to help build power and speed. So you want to sit back and take this all in. And I'm also going to give you guys a couple of videos that you could focus on within the site that are going to help you understand how you're going to put the power back into your game. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with today's analysis, and I've gone ahead and loaded up a couple of swings here from Cheyenne Woods down the line and Tiger Woods down the line, and I want to show you guys a couple of the commonalities that they have in their moves. I'm going to go ahead and move Cheyenne into the takeaway position, or the completed part of the takeaway. Let me move her back a frame here, and I want to show you how her and Tiger have very similar moves as far as creating a lot of width in their golf swing and creating a lot of power. All right, so here we are at the completed part of the takeaway. Hands are about belt high here, or just about pocket height. But I want you to notice that they've got their chest rotating about 45 degrees, shoulders have rotated about 45 degrees, and they've gotten very little rotation from the hip line. Okay, so you can see that the hips have rotated very little. She's probably got about 5 to 10 degrees of rotation, where Tiger has gotten none. And what this is allowing them to do is it's allowing them to load into the right glute and use that for stability in the pelvis. So that's a very, very big thing as far as being able to create a lot of separation and a lot of resistance to be able to use the big muscles in the golf swing. We're really trying to wind up the big muscles as much as possible and use those so we can generate as much power and turn that into clubhead speed. All right, so let's go ahead and keep working back into Cheyenne's swing, and I'm going to get her right to the top. And I also want you to notice here now that she's gotten probably maximum about 35 degrees of hip rotation and a huge wide shoulder turn, which has allowed her to create a ton of separation between the lower half and the upper half. So that means she's got a very stable lower half, she's got a loaded up right glute, and now she's going to be able to use the loaded up muscles and unwind those and turn that into clubhead speed. Where a lot of people tend to run into the issue where they'll over-rotate the lower half, which stands them out of posture, which doesn't allow them to create the resistance in the big muscles, and then ultimately that turns into a slower clubhead speed and a massive amount of other issues. So let's go ahead and work as Tiger here gets to the top part of his golf swing. Very, very common area as well as with Cheyenne. He's created a lot of separation. He's probably got about 35, maybe 30 degrees of rotation out of the hip line here, and he's got a massive amount of shoulder turn as well. So now you can see that he's got all this stored energy, and he's created some resistance in the big muscles, and he's going to be able to also use these muscles to unwind. So what we're really trying to do is we want to be able to create as much separation as possible, and you can do that by making sure that the pelvis stays stable. And in order for the pelvis to stay stable, you've got to use the glute muscles as much as possible. So if you haven't seen Load the Right Glute, check that video out. That's in the backswing section. That is a very, very good video for you to understand how you're going to stabilize the hip line and create as much separation between the shoulders and the hips as possible. So let's go ahead and work down into the downswing. I'm going to show you how these two have a couple of areas in common and how they're using all this stored energy to build speed. So I'm going to go ahead and work Cheyenne down into the impact zone here. And what I want you to notice here is that she has moved that left leg to a straight position. So she's basically pushed herself up out of the ground and move this left leg to a very straight position. So she's used her trunk to build power and pull the power and leverage the ground. And she's used the left glute to help stabilize the pelvis in a sense. And then she's also used the left obliques. Now I want to get Tiger down to impact. And I want to show you one of the, not so much a commonality, but a little difference, a little variation a difference between the two, I should say. But if you look here, you can notice the difference in the right foot on Cheyenne and the right foot in Tiger. She's almost on her toe, where Tiger is almost all the way fully flat. He's kind of rolled to the inside part of that foot. The left heel has come off the ground. And if you look here as a reaction to that particular move, you can see that her chest is more out down the target line, and Tiger's chest is more down towards a golf ball. And also another big thing to take notice of here is that Cheyenne has now gotten quite a bit more hip rotation into impact than Tiger has. You can see that she's probably spun open about 45 to 50 degrees, and that's created a little bit more of a body rotation, and she's going to have to time her release a little bit more. Where Tiger has fully stalled the body, and he is actually nice and square with his shoulders, and he's probably about 30 to 35 degrees open with the hips here. And a big point for me to make here is that the right foot acts as a kind of a braking mechanism to the hip line. If you are efficiently or effectively sitting into the left side and you're pulling with the left obliques, you're pulling that hip away from the target and you're driving that left heel into the ground, and you're working to roll to the inside part of the right foot, kind of like Tiger has here, that's going to act as a braking mechanism to the hips, and it's not going to allow you to get over-rotated or spun out. So if you've ever noticed your golf swing looking where you can see two cheeks like this, and you're way up on your right toe, you need to check out roll of the right foot in the downswing, and that's going to really help you understand how you're going to slow the hip rotation down to allow the hands and arms to pass in front and deliver all that built-up power that you just worked so hard to get. All right, so that's a big area for everybody to understand as far as how we're going to use the lower body effectively and efficiently. And not that she hasn't used her body efficiently, but if you look at Tiger, he is more stable. He's not going to run into issues where he's going to be spun out as much. All right, so that's going to be today's analysis. And as far as what you should be focusing on as you move forward is that you want to be able to create as much separation between the hip line and the shoulder line as you can at the top part of your golf swing. And do that by stabilizing the lower half first. Load into that right glute, stabilize the lower half, and then create big rotation in the upper body. Okay, you want as much rotation as possible. 5 Minutes to Master Rotation is a great video for you to check out, and load the right glute, and then also check out the roll of the right foot in the downswing, and that's going to help you understand how to use the body effectively and efficiently. Okay, so now that we've discussed how important it is to create a lot of separation in your golf swing and how that's going to help you build a lot of power and club head speed, I'm going to go ahead and include a bonus video for today that's called the roll of the right foot in the downswing, and it's going to teach you how to take that stored energy and use the right foot as a brake in the golf swing and help you deliver all that club head speed. And remember, if you like this video today, go ahead and click the like button below, and if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask the questions and I'll answer them as best I can. I look forward to working more with you guys in the future. I look forward to helping you out in the game of golf, and I hope you have a great day.
Now that we've talked about that sitting into the left side in the downswing and keeping the hips a little bit more square and releasing everything, getting the club to come back down, using our arms to help facilitate that process, we need to add the right foot movement. This is, for some of you, if you do this correctly already, great. A lot of you don't, because what I see as you come into the downswing, this right heel's up off the ground real early and it's moving in this way, and it's getting your hips spinning really fast, and so you're losing the stability and things in the being able to use the ground for leverage, and so you're trying to drive too hard with your hips. So what we want to do at first, when we have that problem, when the right foot's coming up real early and we're spinning the hips, we want to work on keeping that right heel on the ground and rolled slightly in while hitting shots. So basically, what you're looking for is as you come down into impact, this would be an ideal impact here basically with my right foot. Not up off the ground, not moving my knee in. It's going to roll slightly in as I shift my weight, and my right leg is passive, relatively passive here as I sift into it. Now that right heel is rolling in. As the club releases, it continues to roll, and then I can come up to a full finish. So what we want to feel is going to the top of the swing, work on sitting into the left, firing the